Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dan, the voice behind ThatKaitoDan, and welcome to my analysis for RWBY's World of Remnant, all about the Schnee Dust Company. First off, sorry about the delay to my reaction to the latest episode. I sadly had some tech issues team up with a nasty storm to make things a little bit difficult on my end, but it is out now, so if you want to check out the reaction to Chapter 6 of Volume 4, the link is in the description down below. So surprisingly, we actually did get something this week, as many of us wondered if we were going to get another winter break again like last year. With confirmation that Chapter 7 is going to follow next week though, on Christmas Eve, it's time to hold off with another World of Remnant, and this time about the dust mining kingpins up north. So let's have a look at what we learned. First off, as I hoped, Crow is taking some particularly personal enjoyment with this topic, given his remarks and even some crude drawings. I swear this feels like a lesson of his that today he's taking some swings at its topic due to what it's actually talking about, though he does rein it in too, so we do get some professional insight. So yes, the Schnee Dust Company, the top dogs when it comes to mining and distributing dust, which of course is handy for weaponry, cities and fuel across the entire world of Remnant, and it's a company name that's got a negative, aggressive, snobbish and monopolizing stigma to them as well, but its stronghold in the market, the abundance of dust and even the negative opinion on the company wasn't always a thing, especially when it comes to the company's former figurehead, Jacques Schnee, a son of a dust miner turned soldier in the days after the Great War, and when Atlas was still in its transformative period as Mantle during its technological growth, which was also draining their limited dust resources. And yes, let's get the obvious out of the way. Nicholas is without question inspired by the one and only Santa Claus himself, of course also known as Saint Nicholas. Gotta love the timing of hearing about this guy with only a few days left until Christmas. I wonder if that was intentional or just pure luck. But yes, Weiss's granddad is Saint Nick, and just like his inspiration, Jacques Schnee was a hardworking man with a big drive, especially for this impactful time for his kingdom as they tried to build their way into comfort and capability. By day, Nick was in combat school, trying to hone his skills as a fighter, while at night, he was toiling away with his father in the mines, on top of any free time used for learning about anything else he could use to help his kingdom be able to stand on its own 2 feet, without the other kingdom's aid. He got his chance though when his father passed away, who left behind everything he had to his son. Even though it wasn't much, it was enough to help Nick hire some fellow miners and set a course to find a big enough dust deposit to revitalize the dust resources. And by hook or crook, they got lucky and found enough to do just that. This would signify the birth of the Schnee name becoming a respected name in the dust market, to where the name even became synonymous with trust, quality and affordability, elements far less common in present-day Remnant. That positive light would grow with Nicholas actually putting his own foot forward with every expedition across the many kingdoms by overseeing them personally, instead of resting on his laurels back home in an office, thus explaining why he took up combat training, as he would be able to help fight if need be during the work. This also meant that other kingdoms were compelled enough to build working relationships with the company for future dust mining, distribution and so on. Gotta highlight once more by the way the lack of any symbol defining action in the Dragonland, as well as the future menagerie down in the southeast, likely saying this was before the time that the Faunus would soon find themselves given this land. Sadly though, the dust mining took its toll on old Nick. It seems mining for dust is a bit of a risky business for one's health, and on top of the travelling, the fighting, as well as wanting to return home and be with his family who missed him, it meant it was time for an early retirement for Nick, and for someone else to take over his role. So step forward Jacques Schnee, better known today of course as Jacques Schnee, confirming many people's theories that Jacques did indeed marry into the family. I think his last name is spelled like this, which is the French word for frozen, tying into Jacques' supposed inspiration of Jack Frost with a similar sounding name. Jacques marrying into the Schnee family not only means that he's unable to have the hereditary glyph semblance, but it could also give more credence as to why Weiss is so prickly to those who wants to win her affections for more selfish means. I mean, just look at her father and what he's become since he got into the Schnee family. It's just a thought, but it could give us some insight in that regard. And it's here where we hear more of Crow's less than favourable fondness for the cunning businessman who took over the Schnee name and would go on to convince Nicholas that he should take over the company. Given credit though, even Crow accepts that he did back up his claims, driving the company into major profits and becoming the top staple in the industry, but at the cost of its positive soul being gutted out from within with Jacques' actions. His introduction would lead into dangerous work conditions for the miners, grinding out the competition like with Flint Cole's dad's business being run out, and cheap labour. Going off the previous episode where Jacques waved off Faunus protesting for better pay under his employ, likely due to the harsh conditions and treatment, I wouldn't be shocked if Jacques does pay all his workers the same amount no matter what they're raised, but still at a very unfair amount for the work that they do, just to make the claim that he is paying the Faunus equally while fulfilling the promise of offering jobs. Just really poorly supported jobs. Jacques is the kind of man who'd take winning and stay in winning happily, no matter the cost or whoever he steps on or used to get there. Of course, see the latest episode to see an example of that with how he handles with Weiss and the whole concert deal. Jacques' PR team may try and paint the good picture of the Schnee Dust Company's present as something just as strong if not stronger than its past, but in the end, many in Remnant and us watching know that it's fairly inaccurate and a far cry from the company's early days. Not only that, but it should also be clear who really could be the one to shape the Schnee Dust Company's future the most, and that shift may come soon enough, with a certain heiress starting to find her own fire, just like the one that fueled her grandfather not too long ago. And that's it for this world of Remnant. Definitely one of the more intriguing ones, and it fills up my thirst for now for some insight on the Schnee Dust Company after so long. Its origins being kinder than its past has some charm to it that will surely play into Weiss's conflict with her father and the actions of the Schnee Dust Company. And topping this short off with Santa Schnee being an awesome dude who took the world into his own hands to accomplish something better, and confirmation of a theory long speculated in regards to Jacques, and I definitely consider this a fulfilling, effective watch, especially in regards to the added charm that Crow continues to bring. But that's just my opinion, folks. Be sure to share yours in the comments down below. Did the deeper look into the Schnee Dust Company satisfy you, or did you want some more to do justice? What do you think about Jacques and Nicholas Schnee? And while you're at it, like and fade the video if you wish, and be sure to subscribe and click on the bell to make sure you get uploads as they come out, as well as alerts. And not only that, please follow me on Twitter at ThatKaitoDan as I share anything to do with RWBY on there, as well as give updates on future videos and anything else on my mind. Until next time though, have a good day or a good night, and peace out.